My name is Nicholas Sakidis. I'm a father to 10 children, a foster dad to 6, and a biological dad to 4. I live in Bayville, a small town located in New York. Professionally, I've worked in the field of finance for many years as a financial investment advisor. I decided to pursue my passion for education. That is when I enrolled for a bachelor's degree in education at Ashford University. I completed my program in May, and I began a master's program in education in the month of June 2020. I realized I have a passion for teaching during my many years as a basketball coach. I love working with young people. I coach young basketball players, and this is where I developed my interest for teaching. I'm applying for the position of lead teacher. I'm looking forward to working with students at K through 12. I have a strong interest in managing a real classroom as my diverse background gives me much to offer. I'm committed to championing quality education for K through 12 students. A culture of universal achievement in a school is established when a significant number of the members of staff demonstrate that the students under their care can achieve academic standards. The establishment of such a culture positions students to learn in a place where they can tap into their potential and achieve success in reading, math, and writing. Through the implementation of the six beliefs, it is possible to establish and sustain a culture where achievement of academic standards is prioritized in a learning institution. The school wants to improve its sport performance, and a culture of universal achievement should be established in this school. The staff has a responsibility to drive the culture within the school. There is usually no room to make excuses for reduced effort. Teachers have a critical role in ensuring that they can create an enriching atmosphere that will propel learners towards being better. The other belief that makes a culture of universal achievement important to both teachers and learners is that student success must always be prioritized. Besides a maverick spirit always triumphs, according to Zuccio and Clayton, if a student is consistent, then he or she can become proficient in learning. Having such a mentality can help students achieve proficiency in reading and writing and even become better at math. In the information age and as a teacher in the 21st century, I possess both information and technology skills. I understand that information literacy is the foundation skill that helps teachers guide students into comprehending facts and content, especially when learning online. As a teacher who possesses this skill, I will pass it to my students and enable them to identify factual and honest information on their own. Additionally, I possess great communication skills. I know that communication is the glue that brings all other educational skills and qualities together. I possess collaboration skills because I'm a great communicator. Through communication, I'm able to bring students and teachers to work together to achieve academic goals. Effective communication is a soft skill that is crucial in the establishment of a universal culture of achievement. Similarly, through my creativity and critical thinking skills, I'm able to innovatively establish ways through which students can adapt to the universal culture of achievement, thus leading to their overall success. The main goal of an instructional management plan is to intentionally identify the actions and decisions that a teacher will make in designing an appropriate learning environment. A clear goal makes instructional management easy to implement. Simplicity is crucial when designing an instructional management plan. For easy implementation, I will have a set of steady, fair, and consistent rules and expectations. These rules will include respect your teacher and classmates, observe punctuality, and 10 lessons ready to learn. Keep your objects, hands, and feet to yourself. Be mindful of school property and be caring of other students' property. Besides, in my instructional setting, every learner will be accountable for their actions and take responsibility for making the classroom a safe and secure learning space. Students will take part fully in instructional activities. My role as the instructor will be effectively manage the instructional environment and facilitate the learning process. A teacher manages the learning environment. I will be inclined towards creating room for active learning participation as I create a learning environment that is learner-centered. I will do this by establishing what learner strategies work best for my learners. I'll be working with a diverse group of students and will thus be making use of engaging instructional methods. I will be intentional in fostering collaboration, and this will be clearly outlined in the instructional management plan. I will be deliberate in understanding my learners' desires, needs, and create personal connections with them while ensuring that I observe professional boundaries. Lastly, the seating arrangement of students in the classroom will be a U-shaped one. In the education sector, teamwork is the key to success. Through collaboration, the performance of learners can be enhanced. Teachers and other stakeholders in the education sector need to work together to ensure that learning becomes a success. Every staff member needs to create collaborative commitments that will enable them to take action and achieve results. I plan on ensuring that I take deliberate steps towards fostering collaboration in the school setup. I will ensure that I create a strong vision that will be shared among my colleagues. I will also work towards ensuring that I develop a strong sense of community. I will work towards ensuring that I understand the passions of my colleagues and create unity that will guarantee collaboration. Connecting with my colleagues on a personal level will create a conducive environment of collaboration. I will also work towards the creation of a harmonious working relationship with my colleagues. In regard to instructional planning, standard alignment ensures that as the instructor, I remain on track while planning and instructing. I will follow the necessary steps in ensuring that my instruction aligns with standards. The first step will be to identify the specific skills that I will be teaching the learners. The substandard being taught in the classroom clearly shows the skills. Secondly, I will identify the various assessment techniques that I will use to assess whether learning has taken place. These will largely depend on the goals to be achieved and the content to be instructed. The third step that I will follow is to identify instructional techniques that I will use as tools to drive the instruction. Lastly, I will select resources and teaching materials that will help me carry out the instruction. The above four steps will help me create a system made up of skills, instructional methods, assessment techniques, and resources. Through the system, I will have an instruction plan that clearly aligns with the standards, and this will be critical in ensuring that I achieve coherence between instruction, learning, and assessment. Through both pacing and alignment, I will ensure that my instruction meets the given standards. Through the use of pacing guides, I will make the most use of class time by effectively and logically developing and following my instructional plans. Howard Gardner's theory of multiple intelligence challenges the traditional notions of intelligence. The theory holds that traditional views on intelligence are limited. Gardner proposed 8 intelligences. The 8 are linguistic, logical mathematical, spatial, kinesthetic, musical, interpersonal, intrapersonal, and naturalist intelligence. Natural intelligence relates to the recognition of various species in the environment. Intrapersonal intelligence refers to the ability to understand oneself. Interpersonal intelligence refers to the capacity to understand the intentions and the motivations of people. Musical intelligence is the capacity to understand musical patterns. Kinesthetic intelligence is the ability to use body parts to solve certain problems. Spatial intelligence is the ability to recognize and interpret patterns. Logical mathematical intelligence is the ability to analyze problems in a logical manner by carrying out mathematical operations. Linguistic intelligence is the ability to learn languages and use languages to attain certain goals. In the classroom setup, no learner can be defined by a single intelligence. Learners learn through diverse methods. I will therefore utilize multiple intelligence to ensure that I achieve success and cater to the needs of every learner. During instructional planning, I will adopt a backward design as opposed to the traditional model. I feel that the backwards design is focused more on the output as opposed to the input. Also, my instructional will be assessment driven, and I will use assessments to monitor and evaluate the learning process. As such, I will use learning outcomes to develop and design my lessons. I will also be able to get valuable feedback during instruction and use it to either continue with the lesson or reteach a certain concept in case learners will not have understood the material. A backward design will help me establish whether the objectives have been achieved. Using the learner's outcomes, I will be in a position to tell whether learning has taken place or not, and then make an informed decision. Also, using backward design, my instructional plan will clearly show the activities that learners will engage in during the lesson. I will have a rationale for selecting certain activities and materials to aid in the effective achievement of learning objectives. Besides the backward design, will help me create an instructional plan that will be easy to use and implement. Using assessment for learning, I will get feedback that I will then use to improve teaching and learning. These are assessments given during instruction to help evaluate whether the lesson's objectives are being achieved. Therefore, I will integrate the assessment for learning to get students involved in the learning process. Using this method, students will start thinking about where they are academically, where they want to go, and what they will need to do to get there. I view assessments for learning as one of the ways through which students will be able to close the gap between their current situation and their achievement of learning goals. They make students more engaged and aware of their learning process and progress. With my aid, students will identify the level they are at and become more independent as they work towards the realization of their goals. During instruction, other than using assessments of learning or formative assessments, I will also make use of summative assessments. I will use assessments of learning to evaluate learning at the end of an instructional unit or period, such as at the end of the semester. I will evaluate learners doing final projects and midterm exams. In the education sector, monitoring the progress of learners is important and complicated in equal measure. Data management helps enforce the principles of accountability and transparency. Through effective data management, the day-to-day progress of students is kept. Sharing the data with peers can help in the generation of important ideas that will result in the achievement of educational goals. Teachers can also gain quick access to the data and in so doing keep track of the progress of learners. Effective data management is built on three important principles. The first principle is easily accessible. Data should be accessed with ease and in a timely fashion. Data should also be openly shared with other teachers. During meetings, teachers should be able to form valid discussions based on the data. Data should also be arranged in a systemic order. Data should be kept in the correct format to ensure that teachers can access the data with ease and make valid conclusions based on the data. One positive trait that I possess is that I am a result-driven educator. I will therefore work hard to deliver exceptional results. I am a believer in the value of hard work, and I intend to continue working hard to achieve educational goals as well as the goals of the organization. I am passionate about education, having enrolled for both a master's and a bachelor's degree in education to fulfill my lifelong passion of being an educator. I will be a great addition to the team, especially because I believe in teamwork. I'm a team player and will work with other educators to achieve both individual and collective goals.